And we're back with Pillars of Eternity, where we need to talk to everyone here. And then we'll go from there. Let's see. Agent Karen. There we go.
Sure.
What's the agent? There is no seeking to find Spade, not while we're around. Current's wasting his time with those disappearances. Okay, there's disappearances. This map shows the environs surrounding Defiance Bay. Flags mark strategic access points to the city. The scrolls are wedged tightly in the shelves. Each has a name scrawled along the outside.
Good day to you.
The Arlen man is surrounded by books and scrolls. His wiry hair stands nearly on end and his ears prick up as you approach. You carry whispers, Kainua, gilded veil. Over the voices, indeed. You're a cipher like me, I'm guessing? He grins, revealing a row of dagger-pointed teeth. You guess what you must surely know. My own modest abilities suggest that yours are most formidable. Would be quite useful here of all places. His ears twitch downward. A pity, then, that my duties of Lady Webb require me to focus my talents elsewhere. He regards a table piled with scrolls. Lady Webb? What brings you to Drywind Row? What are you so busy with? Oh wait, tell me more about your skills. I check for soul connections, looking for lost things, missing things, or troublesome things, particularly where people of power and influences are concerned. I'm a cipher. In arrogant fact, we were once known as Brishelgwin, Mind Hunters. That's cool. That's a nice title. Nice title, yes, but it wasn't until the Animasters began working with my kind 40 years ago that we truly understood our power. Now we make some of the best detectives in the world. Tracing souls, we could look at a person and see where they have been, or look at a weapon and see who has touched it. His nose twitches as he looks at you, useful for solving crimes, as you can imagine. It looks as though you could use some help. He wags a clawed finger. Not at liberty to discuss my work, unfortunately. Driving the road ears only. A civilian would need the confidence of Lady Webb before I could share. What are you so busy with? His small furry hands gesture expansively at the paper before him. Hollowborn, growing unrest, and the ever-present political intrigues. With so many missing souls, missing persons are the least of our concerns these days. Okay. Who's Lady Webb? Another agent. A group of notes speculate about the identity of and location of a secret sect in Defiance Bay. Okay. Either those notes are written in code or the author's handwriting is atrocious.
A simple test. That's settled. I can do that.
We have 23.
That's settled.
Let's go. What's in here? I don't want that. I also don't want this. Okay. Save. Let's hit this level. Man. Lore survival. This will give us bonus movement. Athletics. Stealth. Mechanics, survival. Huh. Let's do. I would like to get the 4 for that. Laura needs 6. Hmm. Let's do lore. Keep that one. Ooh, see level 3. Fracture volition. Enemies' memories to bring vivid recollections of past failures to the surface. Hobbled and weakened. Pained link. Forcing them sprint. No. Secret horrors. Enemies in the area of effect believe their worst fears have been realized. Frightening and sickening. Soul ignition. Soul to leak energy, burning them over time. Soul ignition. Oh, we get a talent. Okay. Um. Huh. I honestly don't know yet. Biting whip. That would help actually. Psychic backlash. Stunning an enemy whenever the targeted ciphers. Whenever they target the one per encounter. Also passive. Let's do, what is this? Rhythm summon. Nah. Fast runner, deep pockets. Nope. Arms bearer, shot on the run. Movement is reduced for ranged weapons. Flame, heart, spirit of decay. Secret of the rhyme. Wound biting. One press. Field triage. Deflection. Retreat. Against disengagement attacks. That would actually be really good. Body control. Bolsters a character's defenses and paralyzed, petrified, sickened, stunned, and weakened. Mental Fortress. Venture Knight, no. Savage Attacker, no. Marksman. Gunner, Dangerous Implements. Nope. 2-weapon, one-handed, Beast Slayer. Ghost Hunter. Sanctifier. Blows, vulnerable attack. Penetrating shot. Body slaughter. No. Let's do the let's do this once. Let's do the backlash. To make sure our mental is fine. It's straight. I'm fine with that. All right. Go to the other side. So we do know that they know that there's a hidden sect here, which I'm pretty sure is the Vodka stuff. Some of the vintages are even over the some of the vintages are even older than Defiance Bay. Where are we actually? Huh. Affixed to the wall are at least in a case involving apparently a caravan that's disappeared en route to New Haremare. Hyomar. Lady Webb is in charge of Hydrate House, but she rarely deals with anyone personally. Interesting. The notes are scribbled in cryptic shorthand. I'm not even going to try to go look in that. There are no secrets in Defiance Bay, not while we're around. Pictures of all manners of folk are pinned to the board alongside notes scribbled in indecipherable shorthand. More agents. Interesting. Current's wasting his time with those disappearances. I don't think we have the key. If Lady Well wants to see you, she'll send for you. No. So I'm guessing we're gonna come here eventually. And next is the sanitarium. What? An animancer? Welcome to the first animancy center in the Drywood. Huh, interesting. Who are you? Nedin.
Gods keep you.
A woman stands in the shade of the garden, muttering to herself. She's fixated on the pages of a large and well-worn tome, seemingly oblivious to the blossoming flowers and the cool, fragrant breeze. She only looks up when your shadow crosses her page. Do you mind? I'm rather busy. What are you busy with? She snaps her book shut. I'm studying soul attachment. We all know that souls move into people at birth and out of them at death, but we still have a lot of questions about what makes them stick, so to speak. What do you mean about making them stick? She brushes a stray lock from her forehead. Souls power bodies and give their tissues life, but only when they're firmly attached. It's separation that leads to a whole spate of soul-related ailments, including the hollowborn. But if we understood how to reattach souls, we could end Waylon's legacy, maybe even conquer death. That doesn't sound good. She scratches behind her ear. That's the theory anyway. Unfortunately, I don't have all the research I need to put it into practice. What exactly do you need? Oh. There's a manuscript called The Theorems of Pagram. It's contained research from Pagram's experiments on detached soul. The Hall of Revered Mysteries is rumored to have a copy in the Elder Archives. The theorems could advance my research by leaps and bounds, but Gridma, the High Archivist, worships well, which means she has some paradoxical views on sharing and restricting knowledge. And since she's not exactly a proponent of animancy, she tends to restrict the kinds of information that would be useful to me. I'm sorry to hear that. She sighs. Look at me spilling my troubles. It's kind of you to listen, but I should really get back to my work. Anything else? Tell me about yourself. She looks eager to return to her studies. Okay. I'm an animaster at the sanitarium. Currently, I'm researching matters related to Waylon's legacy. Uh, I know this, but let's just kill it. It refers to the rise of in-hollow-born children in the drywood in recent years. You know that it's the problem giving birth. Some have also connected it to so-called biowicks that blow through air fat. There's hardly any reliable data on those though, so I can't really comment. She sniffs. I don't much care for the term Waywind's legacy. It reeks of superstition, but it's too prevalent to change at this point. Personally, I like to see people take a more methodical approach to those matters rather than throwing up their hands and blaming the guys. Fair. Don't think dry woodens would see too much fun in that. I have some questions about the theorems of Padgrum, such as, tell me about it first. Padgrum was an animancer working in the drywood. He had many interesting theories about essence and some rather innovative techniques for studying it. He was able to reattach souls to bodies after death, although he wasn't able to prevent his patients from let's hold on. He was able to reattach souls to bodies after death, although he wasn't able to prevent his patients from degenerating. He was controversial to say the least, but many are starting to realize that he was merely ahead of his time. Okay, so what do you mean by degenerating? She twists her hands together. Well, there seems to be a tiny problem with reattaching souls after death. The bodies will reanimate and maybe even retain memories and personality, but they develop a hunger for flesh, living soul-infused flesh. Without it, they start to devolve, decaying mentally and physically. If the process goes too far, which it eventually does, they become mindless corpses, attacking anything that moves. We haven't figured out a way to avoid that. And you wonder why Grenda won't share this research with you? It sounds like necromancy. Nonsense. Necromancy is magic. This is science. Are you kidding? She emphasizes the last word, really? I'd like to know more about the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. You'll find it in the Copper Lane districts. It's dedicated to the gods of secrets and revelations. Most importantly, it houses the largest and most expansive library in the Drywood. Why doesn't Grimda lend you the book you need? The Hall of Revealed Mysteries is rather protective of its books, especially the rarer ones. And Grimda in particular, she hates animacy, thinks it's dangerous. I don't see how you can run the greatest library in the Drywood and be so adverse to the spread of knowledge and research, but I've never understood those religious types. Alot scowls at the necromancer. Some knowledge is best kept under lock and key. And the Elder Archives? It hosts the rarest, most arcane, and most powerful text in the Drywood. Think of it as the inner sanctum of the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. Needless to say, you need Grimda's permission to enter. So I wanted to ask. I'll leave you alone for now. I don't know if I want to give it to her, actually. She's nice, but she's obviously biased. These charming windows are reinforced with iron bars and double thickness of glass. You have nothing to say? Not a thing? voice in the past. Retrieve from the laboratory. He's giving me a key. Mildred keeps everything of his in a trunk in his laboratory. Let's save. Two people has leveled. Now you. Let's do athletics and survival. Let's see. I do want him to have the healing multiplier. After the 6, the previously earned bonuses become more powerful in the same order they were received. That's cool. I did not realize that, but athletics. I'm gonna keep this. Now save the 3 points for mechanics next time. Okay. I don't even know what to give you. Enemies take burn from Holy Priest Radiance. Modifies Holy. Ooh, that's actually cool. Interdiction condemns the foes dazing in the area of effect. Inspired Flame. The faithful of Margaret gain an accuracy bonus with sword and that's the freaking shotgun, isn't it? Can cast a special version of Burst of Summer Flame. Called the Lesser Burst of Summer Flame. Anyone receives lesser healing from the Holy Radiance, but the priest gains a bonus. So that's actually really good. No, that's not happening. That's cool though. It pumps him up. Let's do the. I would love to do this for the burn damage, but I feel like this is up the speed for him, and I do think he needs. I have to remind myself to Aquabus, whatever that is. Passive. Huh. Plus 10 accuracy. No, don't do. He likes burning stuff apparently. So let's do the burn damage. Let's do the brilliant radiance. This is per. Oh, this is also per encounter. But let's do the radiance. And okay. Her survival is maxed. You need second wind. Stealth. And let's try to put mechanics up. Vicious companion. Deal more damage and each hit. Your shot. We're doing companion stuff, obviously. Damage reduction against all types. Merciless. Ooh, sneak attack. Let's do merciless. Damage reduction is cool, but let's do resilient. I may regret it, but let's save it.
What?
4, 4, and 3.
Yeah?
I need to remember this. I really do. All right.
Sure.
Guard. Sometimes we get people in here trying to make trouble for the Animancer. The head warden of the sanitarium is a statue. Quite remarkable. Really? They say the worst of the patients are kept locked up below. Warden, an Animaster from the Republic Boncello has requested a visit. Extend a formal invitation. See to it that the necessary preparations are made. Of course. Head warden. Speak with the head warden at the Moyer if you wish to make an appointment with one of the Animasters. Oh, wait. Save. This isn't stealing. It isn't stealing. Fabian Burnett again. That's a tea poetry, a compilation. I'm shocked that it isn't stealing though. Where is it? But yeah, we did read that already. I'm fine with that. Song of vodka. What? Ye exiles, ye broken, fear not the vengeance of the burned queen. She watches from her throne, ever vigilant. She hears the oaths thou dost speak at her altar. She hears the oath thou dost speak in thine home. She hears the oath thou dost speak in the dark. For ye who would keep thy word, thou shalt escape the justice of her gaze. Beware ye liars, ye unfaithful. Beware ye with the hardened heart. Beware, for the eye of Wodica will not be blinded. She hears the sundered oath. She is not fooled by the winding path. She attends to the broken promise. She sees the deceiver. There is no shadow too dark. Her gaze will find thee. Her justice will not be restrained. The fires of justice will never be quenched. The thrones will crack. The law will burn. But the queen that was always will be. Speak not in untruth, or thy tongue will be bound. Remember thy place. Remember thine oath. Remember thy queen. That's freaking cool. And, huh. I am in. All right, let's save. But what I'm curious on is Waterka is the goddess of justice. But oh, they say she was overthrown. I wonder why. The midwife's memories. My mother lived every note of life's song, bringing me into this world was her last verse. For this, my father scorned me and abandoned me, and for this very same fact, my town's midwife and adherent of Haleus raised me as her own. All right, Halea is sky, language, and arts. Oh, where was I? When I came of age, I learned that Halea visits us on the screams of women in childbirth. And when a woman dies, giving her life to her child, her soul is carried away and reborn as an envying attendant of Halea's court. Through the miracles of the Queen of Birds, my mother has been with me, watching over me my whole life. I wear the fetish charms of the cloud singer. The bird I dreamt my mother became. My feathery trinket looks gaudy and unbecoming, but it is a signifier to women in need that I am a trained midwife, blessed by Halea, and living every note of life's song. The Queen of Birds will us to shepherds new life into the world, and not as the other gods so often desire to end it. A follower of Myron once mocked my faith, saying I worshipped paintbrushes and birds, piddling things beneath the gods. I do not resent the other gods and the brutal necessities that they must oversee, but it is not language, love, the art. It is not language, love, the arts, and creativity that which separates us from simple beasts. Halil allows us to rise above our savage pharaoh selves. I am often amused that upon seeing our holy aviaries, visitors frequently ask, "This is nice, but where is the real temple of Halea?" Perhaps they will perhaps they think hollow ground requires oppressive stoneworks and ceilings that hide the sky. They do not realize the bird queen stands not on ceremony. She makes herself manifest in the music of birds and in beauty of the ubiquitous open sky. Halea prefers the worship of two children singing over 1,000 petitioners silently praying for victory. The Sky Mother asks so little of us, and yet so much. We are charged to live every night. We are charged to live every note of life's song. It surprises me how many fail to embrace this divine's calling. Uh, do- 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 do. Emberlass, hunting bow. Uh, where is it? Oh, I didn't get the one with the. That's right. I gave him the radiance. Animacy in the modern age. Animacy is a science, both respected and reviled, sometimes by the same person. For all the research done on the topic, we still know so little. Control over life itself. Sometimes animators have been working for something animators have been working towards for hundreds of years. There are no real records of how the practice of animacy was first discovered, but once the spark of knowledge ignited, there was no stopping its inevitable discoveries. In 2260 AI, animators, as a result of their extensive research, successfully contained and transferred the soul. The subject of the experiment, whose name is unknown, was young and wealthy, but infirm. The idea was to move its soul from the dying body into that of a recently deceased man who had suffered an accident. The new body, bearing only slight decay, would house the soul, giving the man a much better life. The outcome of this experiment resulted in the condemnation and outlaw of animacy in the Adarian Empire. Again, while we have no true record of what happened, as they were all destroyed after animacy was outlawed, a journal was discovered, a makeshift confession by one of the participants. Excerpts from the journal follow. 2260 AI by Prima 16. It is done, and the gods forgive us for our arrogance. I am not sure what I was expecting, certainly not that. But what did any of us expect? Still, behind the revulsion, there is a sense of pride, something I can't deny. All the research, the studying, everything we worked for, we thought we'd change the world. How it changed. All was in place, the twisted form lying on the table next to its new vessel. The equipment had been prepared, the tinctures and potions all carefully crafted, every detail painstakingly organized to ensure success. We most assuredly succeeded. The procedure went exactly as it should. The soul extracted from the old body held, bound in place to prevent it from moving on. Then the next step, transfer to the fresh vessel. It was beautiful and terrifying. I listened as they spoke the words of binding. I watched the soul move, not the sword itself, of course, but the vapor we used to detect it. As it lowered into the vessel, a gentle luminescence covered the body, and then nothing. Silence, darkness. I held my breath, afraid that even the slightest disturbance would destroy all our hard work. Then motion. Then, dear gods. Then, blood. How did I survive? I do not know. The vessel rolled from the slab and the room erupted. Every person crowded around the table exhaled. Some cheered. We had made life from death. We had become eternal. The body closed its eyes and tilted its head, looking for all purpose to be listening for something or to it. Then its eyes popped open and it moved. Its lips peeled back from its teeth in a horrible expression of fury. It fell on the nearest man, tearing his throat, knocking him to the ground. Then the room erupted into screams, shouts, and a flurry of bodies running, pushing, doing everything in their power to get away from the creature sitting on their colleague. But right before that happened, in the split second before the chaos, when there was nothing in the air but a stunned, terrifying silence, I heard it, sitting there on his chest, face on his neck, and it was feasting. Oh, this isn't good. This is not good. Oh boy, this is